say that what I want to do is have something fade from being black to being so transparent that it actually disappears. So let me try this on a new layer. So I'm going to go ahead and lock and turn off the visibility on those two previous layers, and I'm going to add a new layer. And I can call this one Fade. Actually, I should call that last one Motion if I haven't already. So on my Fade layer, I'm going to do something very similar, which is I'm going to create a square again. Let me make a, no, I'll make it black again. Okay, so I'm going to first create the square. And then even though it's a fade, it's still called a tween or a motion tween, even if the motion is simply to disappear. Motion tween doesn't necessarily have to move from one side to the other. It just has to be some kind of transformative action that's happening to the object. So I'm going to go ahead and select Create Motion Tween and tell it, yes, it's okay to convert it into a symbol. And then I'm going to move to wherever it is in my timing on this that I'm going to want it to fade out. And at that point, I'm then going to reselect the square so that I've got all of my things available on my properties. Now, some of these might be collapsed when you first get it. So all you need to know about fading is that it's under color effect. So under style, under color effect, and then under style, it's called alpha. So in some programs, it's transparency. In Flash, it's called alpha. Now, alpha will have it fade transparent. Now, you also have brightness, where if you have overlapping elements and you don't want that effect of having things, you know, like if you had two black squares, one on top of the other, when that crossfades, you'll see an intersection. So you could also use brightness. I'm going to go ahead and use alpha. And what I'm doing at this point is I'm going to shift the alpha down. Now let me put it at not quite 0 yet, just so I can make sure that it's actually fading. Okay. And then let me have it fade back in. So that's one reason to leave this at not quite 0, so that when I come down a second later, I can still see the square. So I place that there, and then I tap the square again. And now here, my alpha, I'll pull it back up, and you see it added another keyframe in there as well. So I'm going to go back to that previous keyframe, tap the square, and now I'll take that alpha all the way down to 0. So now from the beginning, if I scrub, I see that it fades out, and then it fades back in. Now let me go a little bit further, and let's do this again. Tap the square, and this time let me try brightness. So you can see as it gets brighter, this case it kind of moves in the opposite direction. It will also get lighter. Once you have a couple of overlapping things, you'll see whether or not it makes a difference whether you're using alpha or brightness.